مساء الخير عليكم، مساء النور. كنتمنى تكونوا بألف خير يا رب، وإن شاء الله تعالى يلقاكم هذا الفيديو في صحة وسلامة جيدين. اليوم عندنا قصة من القصص الجنائية اللي وقعت ماشي في محاكمنا المغربية. قصة ديال قتل واحد السيدة اللي ما غيعرفوا وما غيحلوا اللغز ديالها إلا بعد مرور 23 سنة. هاد السيده هذه كانت متزوجه بواحد الشخص كتشتغل انفيرميير، حياتها عاديه عايشه في استقرار وفناء هي والزوج ديالها. واحد النهار حتى كيلقاوها مقتوله. هاد السيده كانوا لقاو 3 طعنات متوجهه للصدر ديالها، زائد ان كانت الجثه ديالها جدا مشوهه. انذاك باقي ما كانش التطور الحاصل في الوسائل العلميه للكشف عن الجريمه. مهم مني داو الجثه داروا لها التشريح، لقاو بان هادوك الطعنات اللي تم طعن السيده بهم هما السبب في الموت، وانه تم التعذيب ديالها بعد الموت وليس قبله، ان هاد السيده تكرفسوا عليها بعد ما توفات. مهم بدات الشرطه كدير الابحاث ديالها، استدعاو الزوج، داروا معاه البحث التحقيق، لقاو بان الزوج راه لا علاقه له بالمقتل ديالها، واصلا حتى الوقيته اللي تقتلات فيها ما كانش. داروا البحوث ديالهم، لقاو بانه كاينين بعض المجوهرات ديالها ما متواجدينش في البيت. يعني ربطوا المساله ديال القتل بالسرقه، بان هاد السيده راه كانت في البيت ديالها ودخلوا شي اشخاص يمكن باش يسرقوا، لقاوها فاضطروا انهم يقتلوها، خصوصا اللي كانوا ما دايرينش ما مخبينش وجههم. المهم هذا هو الاحتمال اللي عطاتو الشرطه. ولقاو واحد المساله اخرى، هي واحد العضه في اليدين ديال هذيك السيده، وهذيك العضه داروا ليها لادين، لقاو بانه هذاك لادين ديال تحليل ديال المراه. المهم صافي تسدات القضيه، تسد البحث في هذه القضيه هذه، وقالوا بان راه ممكن القتل كان ناتج عن سرقه، ان هاد الناس دخلوا باش يسرقوا وقتلوا هاد السيده. فصافي دازت تقريبا مده ديال 20 سنه، تخرجوا واحد المحققين جداد باقيين صغار، فالقضايا اللي تعطاتهم هي ديك القضايا التي لم يتم حلها. فبداو بهذه القضيه هذه ديال هذه الممرضه هذه. مشاو كيف كتعرفوا بان راه كاين واحد الارشيف كيحتفظوا به، كتحتفظ فيه الشرطه العلميه بالحجج والادله ديال الجرائم حتى كتمر واحد المده محدده 30 سنه ولا 40 سنه، عاد فاش كيتخلصوا من هذيك الاشياء المتحصل عليها في مسرح الجريمه. فمشاو قراو داك التقرير الطبي، شافوا الحجج والادله اللي اعتمدوا هذيك الساعه المحققين، وبداو فتح القضيه. فمني بداو كيدرسوا هذه القضيه، لقاو بان هذاك التحليل ديال لادين ديال امراه، فمشاو كيقلبوا على هذيك المراه، فاذا بهم لقاو هذاك التحليل ديال لادين ديال المراه كتشتغل شرطيه. فمشاو سولوا، عرفوا فين كتشتغل هذه السيده هذه. فكيف يعقل انهم يمشيو عند هذه السيده هذه يقول لها بان راه حنا كنبحثوا في واحد الجريمه اللي مر عليها تقريبا اكثر من 20 سنه، وعاودنا فتحنا هذه القضيه وشفنا بان في التقرير ان مني دار تحليل ديال لادين لقاو بان هذاك اللعاب اللي كان في هذيك العضه ديالك انت، وهي هذه السيده اصلا شرطيه، ولقاو بانها رئيسه قسم. يعني كتفهم في هذه التفاصيل هادو، وكيفاش ممكن هما عاد تخرجوا جداد يطاولوا على هذه السيده هذه ولا ياخذوا منها كاع المعلومات. فاشنو داروا؟ قالوا باش نتاكدوا غنحاولوا ما امكن اننا نسحبوا لادين ديالها هي بلا ما تعرف، نطابقوا لهذيك اللعاب اللي لقاو في هذيك العضه هذيك، حتى يبان لنا بان كاين تطابق عاد فاش نمشيو عندها. وفعلا قدروا انهم يسحبوا الكوب اللي كتشرب منه هي، سواء القهوه ولا الماء، ومشاو داوه المختبر ودار لادين، وفعلا كان تطابق ما بين العضه اللي كاينه على جثه ديال هذيك السيده واللعاب ديال هذيك الشرطيه هذيك. فاتصلوا بها، حجزوا معها موعد، قال لها عفاك بغيناك تعاونينا في واحد القضيه. قالت لهم الف مرحبا. مشاو عندها، قال لها الا ممكن شي بلاصه خاصه ما تكونش في البيرو ديالك، لان ما بغيناش الموظفين يتصنتوا لينا. قالت لهم مرحبا. وهذا الشيء اللي كان غنخليكم مع المتهمه الرئيسيه في هذه القضيه هذه. حضروا الفيديو، كنتمنى لكم فرجه ممتعه، ونعاود نرجع معكم.
How's it going? Good. Milling around. Well, have a seat. I don't want to talk about this in the squadron because I don't know who people are listening.
That's true.
And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing.
No problem.
Okay. But like we're talking about being busy and stuff, we've been assigned a case that we've been looking at.
Okay.
It's a new case, and reviewing the case, there's some notes to see as far as your name being mentioned.
Okay.
Do you know J.r.ي.M.ة?
John Rutten?
Rutten.
Right. Oh yeah, I went to school with him.
You did?
Yeah.
How long did you know him?
Gosh, I went to school in, let's see, went to UCLA in 1978 I started, and, you know, met him at school at the dorms.
Mm-hmm. Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's regarding, it's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there, some of the statements we reviewed, you know, there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we good friends. Lived in the dorms I lived in the dorms for 2 years.
You guys lived in the same dorm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dykstra.
Okay. Were you guys just friends or anything else, or?
Yeah, we were good friends.
Yeah. Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated. You know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
Okay.
Okay. Did you know her?
Not really. I mean, I knew that he got married years ago.
Did you ever meet her?
God, I don't know. Well, let me think. God, it's been a long time ago. I may have met her. Geez, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Let me ask you. You said you dated John. How long did you guys date?
I mean, are you guys? Is this something? I mean, you said I was going to interview somebody about art, and how you guys are.
Here's
I mean,
Stephanie. Here's the situation. Is basically, we knew that this, when we saw this in this chrono, that maybe there was some relationship there. That's what the chrono seemed to indicate, and we didn't want to come up to you at your desk and ask those kinds of questions or do anything. You know how up there people can see what's going on if you go into an interview room, or people are in there getting supplies.
Okay.
So we wanted to afford you some privacy, some confidentiality to talk about this, because we thought it might be, something, you're married to someone else, obviously, and so forth, and that you may not want to, talk about these things in that setting where someone, we don't want the rumor mill or gossip or any of that kind of stuff to start.
That's fine. I mean,
so we did this just as a means to try and speak to you in just a confidential place where where your business isn't out there for other people in your division to know about.
God, that's been a million years ago. I mean, what year is it now? 2009? I mean, I graduated in 82. 82, yeah. We dated. I dated other guys. I'm sure he dated other girls.
Well, let me ask you, roughly how long would you say you guys dated?
Oh, jeez. I couldn't even say. I mean, I started school there in 78. I started UCLA in 1978. I graduated in 82. I don't even remember what year he graduated, if it was...
Correct me if I'm wrong, because from what you're telling me, you guys dated while you were in college together, right?
Yeah, and probably after college. I can't... Geez, I'm trying to think when I met my husband. I met my husband in... When did I meet Scott? Let's see... I was teaching DARE, because I met Scott when I was teaching DARE up in Oregon. But we had long stopped, dating before that.
So you haven't talked to him for a long time?
Oh, I think I haven't talked to him in a long time. I couldn't even tell you when the last time I talked to him. I met Scott, I'm thinking in 92 maybe, April of 92. It was
Scott being your husband.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was teaching DARE.
But since you met your husband, Scott, you hadn't talked to him?
I mean, he may have called me once or twice before we got married.
Right.
Geez, I moved to Simi in 1994 because I lost my house in the earthquake.
Oh, really?
Quite honestly, I probably keep in contact with a few people from the dorms. We all lived on the 10th floor, and there's about 3 or 4 people I keep in contact with. There's probably like 6 or 8 of us that were all really close.
And who are those people?
oh geez, Diana Basta, the people I still keep. I haven't been in contact with her in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, what's this all about? I mean,
What ended the relationship between you and John?
you know, I don't. It was kind of a weird relationship. I mean, we dated. I can't say that he was my boyfriend. I don't know that he would consider me his girlfriend. We dated. We did things. I played sports in college. He played basketball. His brother played basketball. We just, you know, it just didn't work out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It was like I went out with other guys, saw other guys. I went on lots of vacations. You know.
And once you guys split, were you guys still friends, or kind of, you know,
I
problems?
mean,
Is it friendly, not friendly?
No, I don't think it was not friendly. I mean, we were friendly. I know that we went to Hawaii at one point. Yeah, I mean, you know.
And you were saying that
it's 2009 now.
Had you ever met his wife?
I may have.
Do you remember her name or anything, or? Or what she did for a living, or where she worked, or anything about her?
Well, I think I'm going to say that I think she was a nurse. I mean, I can't even remember how he said he met her. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's been so long ago.
Well, let me ask you, did you go to their wedding, you know?
No, I didn't go to their wedding. No, did not go to their wedding. I couldn't even tell you what year he got married. You know, again, I mean, what, you know, I don't understand why you're talking about some guy I dated a million years ago.
Well, do you know what happened to his wife?
Yeah, I know she got killed.
What did you hear about that?
I saw a poster at work. I'm sure I spoke to him about it. I think I spoke to another friend of his about it.
And how did you first learn about that?
Jeez. Someone could have called me. I could have heard it at work. I think at one point there may have been a flyer or something. I know a good friend of his.
Were you on the job back then when that happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm sure I was on the job. That's why I would have heard about it with the flyer. He had a good friend, Mike Boldrick, you know.
But being that you were kind of, you used to see John, you know, was everything okay between you guys? I mean, there was never anything uncomfortable or anything between you and her?
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's been so many years. I mean, uncomfortable. I mean, I can't even remember if we had a conversation. I mean, I may have seen her at his apartment. You know, geez, how many years ago is that? I don't even know what year she, you know, got killed.
Where was his apartment?
On Roscoe.
Okay.
Yeah, Roscoe and east or west of DeSoto. Either east or west of DeSoto.
Do you know where he moved after? Did he move after he got married, or do you know? Or
I'm sure he did.
did you know where he was living, or?
Somewhere in the valley.
Did you ever visit him and his wife?
No.
No? Never
No.
went out to, you know, get together, dinners, anything of that
No,
nature?
no. Like I said, his sister used to come over. His sister had come to my place. I knew his brother because his brother played basketball at Northridge.
After his wife died, did you talk to him again or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I did talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him, probably his parents, probably some other friends. You know, I'm sure I talked to him.
Yeah.
But you're not sure where he moved to after he got married?
No idea. I mean,
never went over to visit him or
I don't think.
meet
I
his
mean, I
wife
don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I did.
After John's wife died, you said you may have been talking to him. Did your relationship start up again?
I would say no. Again, can you give me a year? I mean, this is like 2009.
She died in 1986?
Yeah, I think it was 86.
1986.
Okay. Like I said, I'm faintly remembering that I went to Hawaii with my friend Greg. Greg and I got certified for scuba diving. And I'm thinking that John met us there, meaning Greg and I.
After he got married or whatever, were you dating anybody in particular?
And that was what year? 1986, you said?
I think he got married in around 85, 86, something like that. Were you seeing anyone seriously, or?
God, I couldn't say. Geez, I'm trying to think. I mean, you know, I dated a fireman, if I'm even thinking of the story right, and then I started dating Randy.
Yeah.
You know, so again, I mean.
As far as you recall, after John's wife died, did you start a relationship again with John, or dating casually, or anything like that?
Like I said, he met Greg and I in Hawaii. You know, what island did we go to? I think the Big Island in Kauai.
I mean, when you heard about John's wife being killed, I mean, what was your reaction? I mean, you thought you heard about it, what, through a friend or in a bulletin or
Either
something?
a friend or a bulletin. I called the family. I called maybe some of his friends that I knew, and I mean, obviously it shocked you if I heard it at work, you know, which I may have. I faintly remember a bulletin going around, you know.
Do you know what the circumstances were regarding her death?
Geez, let me think back. Geez, I don't know if it was, you know, if it was a burglary or something. Yeah, it's been so many years. I can faintly think that I may have saw a flyer.
Yeah.
May have had her picture on it. You know, that's why I say, if somebody had called me, I may not have known what her last name was. I may have. Maybe if you told me, I would remember it.
Do you remember her first name?
Shelley, Sherry, I don't know, something maybe, you know. Like I said, it's been so many years, and
from all the years, as far as you can remember, do you remember ever talking to her? Just
well, I said earlier, you know, I mean, I may have, and now I'm thinking I may have gone to her and say, hey, you know what, is he dating you? He's bothering me, and so I'm thinking that we had a conversation about that. One or two, maybe. You know, it could have been three. I don't want to say I had three conversations with 92 or 93. There was a big earthquake. No, when was the big earthquake? April of 92, because I stopped teaching j.r.e.m.ة. I think I stopped teaching j.r.e.m.ة sometime in 92.
When you said, like, hey, you know, he's calling me, he needs to knock it off, or what have you, I mean, was that civil? Was there, I mean,
no, there was not. I don't think there was anything. If the conversation lasted a few minutes, I can't even remember. And what is it like, you know, we went out to lunch or anything.
Right, but there was no, like, arguments or fights,
I
or
don't think
it didn't
so.
get heated or anything like
Not
that?
that I recall, no. I mean, I would think that would stand out, I would think. Now, again, that's not standing out in my mind. You know...
So you didn't have any problems with her then?
No.
You didn't have any issues with her?
No, I mean...
But let me ask you, it seems like you didn't have any issue. Now, did she have an issue with you as far as...
Oh.
Because now you're telling her, hey, you know, tell him to stop calling. Now, you know, she's like, hey, you know, you figure she'd be threatened by you.
You know, I don't know. I mean,
from what you remember as far as when you talked to her, maybe you didn't take it as serious, but maybe, you know, did she? Maybe she was bugged.
You mean like was she throwing things at me or something, or?
Well, no, just,
you know.
as far as you're trying to explain, like, hey, have him stop calling me, you know, stop playing games.
You know, I tell you, if the conversation, I couldn't even tell you how long the conversation. If you said, did it last a half an hour? Did it last 3 minutes? Did it last 20 minutes? I can't even remember. It's been so long ago.
So you would have gone, if it was en route to work, you more than likely you would have gone to her work and had this discussion with her?
I mean, that's sounding familiar. I mean, that's, now that you guys are bringing this stuff up, I mean, that sounds familiar. But again, I mean, you know, what's this got to do with me dating him and, you know, her getting killed? I mean, I don't, you know, I don't have anything to do with it. And you got something that's, somebody said, you know, whatever. I mean,
well, like we said, we just literally got this the other day, and you're going through it.
Yeah.
And you see
and you saw me say,
your
oh,
name.
it's next door.
Right. And so, you know, I mean, obviously, it's like we recognize the name, and we know that, you know, you work next door to us, and so we're trying to get some background. We're trying to figure this out. I mean, this is from a long time ago.
Oh, I know. And
you know,
that's
and things have been kind of slow for us. And so, you know, Chief Beck has said, hey, you know, I want you guys working. I don't want you just sitting around reading the paper.
Yeah.
So he's kind of pushing some older cases out even to the guys that work active cases because, you know, and so we see this and we're just like, oh, well, you know, we want to talk to you about it. But of course, the only reason we did it here is because we're getting into some pretty personal stuff in your relationship.
You know, my husband's on the job, and we've been
so
married.
We don't want to take the risk. We don't want to take the risk. We're in one of those interview rooms, and even when the door closed, someone's going to get supplies and sees us on a monitor, or hears or whatever.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate it. Like I said,
that's where people go when there's orals. You know, when they're doing orals, guys will go in there and try and watch. And like, what are the answers to the questions? You know,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we just want to afford you the most privacy and confidentiality we could.
No, I appreciate it. And like I said, I mean, this goes way back, and I mean, it was very sad. You know, obviously, when we were in college, some of us would go down to his house in San Diego. I went down to his house with him.
With Sherry, do you know where they were living?
No, you asked me that already. And I said, well, obviously they were living in Van Nuys division.
Yeah.
I may have known. I mean, did he ever give me the address? Maybe. You know, I don't remember. I mean, I don't know.
Because the only reason I'm asking you, because I know you went to talk to her at the hospital regarding this issue with John. To, you know, kind of like, hey, you know, what's going to happen here with this thing? But would this ever have followed up to her house when you went to talk to her to say, hey, you know what?
I don't even know that I knew where they lived. You know, that's what I'm saying. I don't. If I knew where they lived and I'd been there, if it was for something social, I would. And I can't see how many times I saw her face to face. You know, he lived on Roscoe. Did I ever see her there? I don't know. I mean, I may have seen her at his apartment on Roscoe. I may have met her there. You know, I mean...
But you didn't have any issues with her, right?
No, I mean, you know, obviously, if he was dating me and dating her, I probably said, hey, pick or something, you know.
Fair.
You know, back
That's
then.
I mean, would you remember if she snapped on you and just like, hey, man, it's my man, you know, you leave him alone, you know, blah, 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 that kind of stuff?
You know...
You know, would you remember an incident like that? I mean, because that would be like, what?
Well, you know, and maybe that happened. I mean, gosh, you know, it's been so long ago. I mean, that's not ringing a bell.
I mean, because the times I've seen you around at our office,
I'm crazy.
You know, but you're always kind of like real. I mean, you seem kind of bubbly.
Oh, you know, people think I'm really hyper. But I can get upset, you know, and then I forget 5 seconds later, you know how guys razz you and you go, you know, I mean, I've done that in the office, you know, but it's like, and then I'm, you know.
Well, one of the concerns I had is looking at some of the notes is some of Sherry's friends said that you and her were having a problem because of the John situation.
Well, number one, I don't know who her friends are, because again, I don't recall if he did tell me where he met her. I don't know even who these friends are. A problem, like I said, if I spoke to her, I mean, I'll go on as far as a limb, and I don't even want to say I spoke to her 5 times, because that's probably not even true. I can't even remember.
Well, that's what I'm reading, is that you guys had problems with each other and words are being exchanged, and it's all relating to John.
You know what? I can't say.
You can't say?
No, that doesn't even ring a bell.
So, I mean, it seemed like, yeah, you would recall something if somebody's going
I
off on you, right?
I would think. I would think. I'm trying to, turn my memory back, and I'm trying. I can't even picture the, the conversation. I mean, I can't even picture the conversation.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, at the hospital, it never got to the point where people are going, hey, everybody go to your own corner type of thing?
I don't think so.
Nothing like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I really don't. I mean, if you say people said that, that's not ringing a bell to me at all. I mean, it's not. I mean, that's not ringing a bell.
Well, I guess basically what I'm asking is, were you ever welcome to the house? Like, hey.
Oh, come over?
Yeah, come on over. We're having a barbecue, a dinner party, Christmas party, whatever.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm just trying to think. Well, I know at one time he drove either a 240 or 260Z.
Any other cars that stand out in your mind?
I don't know how long he drove that 240 or 260Z for. And the only reason I say that is because I think I may have a picture of it with him in it.
People are kind of, they're pointing the finger at you.
Well,
and
I mean, that's not ringing a bell to me, so, I don't know, it's, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that just sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, so you, offhand, you don't recall ever going into her house and having words and physically,
No.
attacking her attacking you?
No.
Nothing like that?
No, I mean, no.
Nothing?
No. No. Not at all.
Okay. Right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, I got a problem with, with that.
Okay.
Okay? So, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
We're trying to figure out what happened, Stephanie.
Well, I'm just saying, do I need to get a lawyer if you're accusing me of this? You
don't have to.
I'm just,
you're here of your own free will.
No, I know, but
you're not under arrest. You can walk out.
You can leave whenever you like.
Well, but I'm trying to give you some background of how I knew him, and now you're telling me that somebody's saying that we had this big old fight, and I don't even know what you're talking about. And I don't want to get in trouble for something that I didn't even do, or you're saying I did something.
Okay.
Yeah, we understand.
I mean, how would you guys like it if the tables were turned on you?
I understand. No.
No, that's what we're telling you. I mean, you're free to go whenever you want. If this makes you uncomfortable and you want to,
now you're starting to make me uncomfortable.
The thing is, detectives did what they could at that time on the crime scene. Okay, and the burglary thing you're talking about, that is an angle that they looked at. But now we're looking at everything else on the case. Because nobody was ever arrested on the case.
I don't know that or not.
Okay. Now, what we'd like to do is, obviously you know about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, gets done on cases nowadays. If we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now
because
now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Okay.
Because I know how this stuff works, okay? Don't get me wrong, you're right, I have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And I wish I had been recording this because now it sounds like, there's, you're selling these people saying I'm fighting with her, and now it sounds like you're trying to, I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
We know.
Okay? And now it almost sounds like you're trying to pin something on me.
No,
now I got that sense.
Well, what it gets to on these cases, and you know it as well as I do, our job is to identify and eliminate suspects.
I can't believe this.
So, if we ask you to the point to give us a DNA sample, a buccal swab, so we can identify or eliminate you, Would you be willing to do that?
Maybe. Because I know this,
Well, that's where we're at too. I mean, because right now, from looking at the evidence, it's, you know, it's possible we may have some DNA at the location.
That's great.
And we're going to do what we can to try to put this thing together. And your name's in the book. These people are pointing at you for whatever reason.
I don't know why. That's just crazy. I mean, that's absolutely crazy.
And it would be irresponsible on our part not to look at it.
I know. You guys have to do your job, and I guess I'm going to have to contact somebody. So.
That's fair.
I mean, because I know how this stuff works. I mean, I just can't believe it.
I mean, we understand that. I mean, if we were in your position, I mean, we would feel the same way.
I just can't even believe it. I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that somebody would be saying that I did this. I mean, we had a fight, and so I went and killed her. I mean, come on.
Well,
that's...
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks for giving me the courtesy. I wish I recorded that.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Stephanie, take care.
All right.
Crazy.
Have a seat, Stephanie.
Same.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Stephanie, you know you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
You want. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you want to talk to us right now?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This is crazy.
Okay.
This is I'm like in shock. I'm totally in shock.
We are back on the record in People versus Lazarus. Shortly before noon, the jury announced they have a verdict. We will take the verdict at this time.
People of the State of California versus Stephanie Eileen Lazarus. Case number BA 357423. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony, as charged in count 1 of the information.
Your Honor, I'm ج.ر.ي.م.ة. Thank you for the opportunity to speak during this hearing.
وفعلا تبتات الجريمه ديال القتل في حق هذه السيده هذه اللي دازت عليها اكثر من 23 سنه، ولكن كيف كنعرفوا بانها غتقول لي كيفاش عاودوا فتحوا هذه القضيه، لانها باقي ما تقادماتش، لان كاينه واحد المده محدده سواء في الجنايات سواء في الجنح سواء في المخالفات ديال التقادم ديالهم، فهاد القضيه كانت باقي ما تقادماتش، داكشي علاش قدروا انهم يرجعوا يفتحوها، وبالتالي تم الحكم على هذه الشرطيه هذه بعقوبة سجنية وخذات الجزاء ديالها. غنتوقف عند هذا الحد هذا. كنتمنى ان هذه القصة هذه تكون نالت اعجابكم. الى فيديو قادم، استودعكم الله الذي لا تضيع ودائعه، في امان الله.